Okay, Aries, this is a little bit of a gloomier looking one to begin with, and remember too, I'm an Aries as well, so as we work through this we will see what is exactly in store. You've got two swords in the middle of the month of May, and you have one major arcana card and a Queen of Wands over here. So if we come to the beginning and we see the Tower, we know that the Tower is quite a dramatic card of change, and it can be sudden change and unexpected. And often when that occurs, we see ourselves perhaps debating, why we're in this situation, or are we where we want to be. So it can be about many different types of changes. It can be at the physical, emotional, relationship, or spiritual. Often they're changes that come with this kind of force directed in them, and you don't necessarily want them to come, because you might be in a place where you feel great, everything's okay, I'm chugging along, and then suddenly this happens and you go, oh, actually, maybe there are other facets of my life I haven't explored or that could connect with me at a higher level. So the Tower often means change, and it means being able to work through the change, more importantly as well. So not being afraid of change that comes, and not being afraid to, take the faith, move into it, embrace it, figure it out, and become stronger for it. If we look at it from a health perspective, it literally could mean that you have to be physically careful in the month of May. Watch for trips and falls, that type of thing. You think of broken bones. I suppose there's a few. You could sit there for a wee while and think of the possibilities of this card. So I think if we come back to the perspective of the astrology which has recently happened, and we talked about the two eclipses, the solar eclipse and the lunar eclipse, they were roughly taking place in the Aries time span. So I feel that a lot of Aries in particular will have been affected to varying degrees, depending on you individually, by the eclipses. Now you've heard me talk about it before. They actually can have quite profound effects on us, and some of the effects can well be the likes of these cards showing up. Now often after an eclipse, at around about the month when the eclipse has happened, which is roughly the 4th of May, which is that first week in May, it can be almost like the shockwave effect hits you. So you might very well come up with situations that you just suddenly feel, nah, I'm moving on, or I'm not going to tolerate this, or I don't know how to handle it. I think too, when we see this card right next to it, the Nine of Swords, we see this person in bed. It gives me the feeling of needing to slow down and take some time out and really think through the way you want to move forward, especially if you're feeling as if any situations around you are not meeting your needs any longer, or are not working positively with you and raising your vibrations. Now, it would also pay to take your time to think about it if you can. If an event occurs that's quick and sudden, it might take a little bit of thought or contemplation or time away to try and resolve it, to move forward in a positive light. The other thing is the Nine of Swords often indicates sleep issues. So some of you may be having problems sleeping, and it may be that you need to address it in one way or another, whether or not you look at some naturopath treatments or a form of sleep help, whether it be natural sleep tablets or even prescribed ones. And the other thing is, this can also mean vivid nightmares and dreams and messages that come in your dreams. So it could be poignant to start a dream book and to listen to what it is that your inner psyche might be telling you around this time, because you can also pick up messages about what your subconscious is delivering you and how you can connect it all together. It can be a worthy thing to do, to have a dream journal. So it does look as though the first half of May may be turbulent or about change. and about change at your core values. You know, a lot of you might have been thinking, who am I? What do I want in life? Where am I headed? These might be some of the times you get the chance to address that and make some sort of decisions or some changes that come your way. Now, if we move here to the third week in May, we see this guy here with his back to everyone, just sort of moving away slowly on a boat. I often think this card has the potential means for travel. It's known as a travel card, so some of you might be travelling in the month of May. And the other thing is that it can just give that whole feeling of moving away from something, maybe at a quieter pace, so not with this sudden rush that's in the beginning, but at a quieter pace. After having had some contemplation, you're just slowly moving into the more calmer waters, and that's another feel that the card does have. And it's one that probably suggests you have spent some time alone or in contemplative thought, and you are prepared to take this new step and journey forward, whatever it may be for each and every one of you. And as I say, don't forget that it could mean travel as well, and travel across sea. Now we see the Queen of Wands here at the very end of May, and she is a fire sign person. So this could be yourself. This could be the final energy of the month that you re-establish back into this calm and collected and thoughtful, repose person who is able to, you know, she's quite magnetically attracted to the esoteric world, to the spiritual realm. She seeks knowledge from that place. She offers support to others as well. She has a presence of fertility, so there's a deal of fertility there at the end of May. And remember, fertility can be not just in the physical presence, but it can be at the thought level. So new thoughts, ideas springing to your mind, creativity and passion as well. So it feels as though maybe this first half of the journey of May, there's a lot of inner work, there's a lot of psyche work, your subconscious, connecting with your thoughts, your fears. Often when these cards are around, it's about addressing your fears in life and confronting them and knowing that you can move through them if you put the right practices in place to get through each part of it. But as we get to the end of May, we do feel this lighter sense of being, so this lightness of being coming back in. And if it's not you feeling this way, then there's more than likely a support person for you that offers the same type of energy, or someone in your life that you just go, oh, that's really nice, I'm really grateful to have someone around who can perhaps offer me a bit of physical, moral and emotional support, because that's what this person is capable of doing. If we come back just to this wave a little bit for a moment too, there could be, if there are issues at work, fiery situations at work or in your career area or wherever you're studying, it would pay to think really carefully before you use harsh words in trying to engage in the situation. I think thinking first and speaking later will have much more benefit for all of us Aries in May. So there we are, guys. That's probably one of the I could say the tougher readings I've actually done since I've been doing the cards. So I'll be keeping an eye out in May, that's for sure. Okay, let's move on to the next cards, which are these lovely Tony Salarino cards here. And they are about addressing the darker side of, or the shadow side of our personalities, almost exactly what that reading has just delivered us. So let's have a wee look and see what might be in store here. And they're hard cards to shuffle, so I will just actually spread them a little bit and see what comes up. The Angel of Prayer. Ask the universe and the angels for help and guidance. It's interesting, this particular card I think has popped out in 3 other readings, so it would appear that asking for support and help is going to be a really big part of getting through May for anyone who has feelings of either loneliness or not being able to get through a situation that's occurring. it is hard to accept sometimes, but you're not on your own and you're not doing anything on your own. But at the same time, you have to request the help and you have to have faith that it will come. So some people are, believers in religion or a God or a certain thing or faith that they follow. So for whatever it might be for you, you just go out there and you connect with that point of passion of your faith and you ask for the support and the help and have faith that it will be delivered. So that's one of the messages there for you for May, and it's a beautiful supportive message. It should give you a lot of warmth to know that any times of difficulty you can connect and call on this energy and use the power of prayer. And I don't mean prayer necessarily just from the religious perspective, because we know of prayer as being a very positive force around us. It's at a vibration that we can't actually see, but it does exist and it is positive and it is powerful. So the next card, Aries, for you guys, Goddess of the Sacred Path, let go of logic and trust your intuition. So that's your second message for the month of May, which was a little bit that Nine of Swords, if you like, going into your dreamscape time, your subconscious sending you messages, listening to your sixth sense. Those are the ones that are going to be the messages that you might be needing to listen to in the month of May. And I think that had come across a little bit in the reading. So trust yourself, ask for support and help if there are any issues that you feel you need to, and always have faith and strength. And I think that's another thing that the Aries can call upon, is that inner fire strength. It's actually a real blessing for whatever comes our way. We can stand on our own physically if we have to, but certainly spiritually and emotionally there is always that other help. So let me just get the Angels of Atlantis cards and pull one of those as well, the lovely bright white light, and we'll see what comes your way, Aries. Well, double message there. So something about your intuition. Listen to it in the month of May, because it's going to be well worthy of your pathway, of where it takes you. You might get synchronistic messages, you might get messages about going in a certain direction, or people you should be connecting with or not connecting with. Your intuition is a mighty powerful force, and yeah, it's, as you see in the picture, I love it. It's particularly beautiful. It takes us right up here into the universe, and even though we say it's a gut instinct, which is through here, it's connected at all levels, which is how intuition works. It's that ultimate connection. And the other thing about the card is it offers here the chakra balancing and the healing. And it seems as though in the beginning of May, perhaps our chakras and our body is actually out of alignment. So it will pay to perhaps do a bit of meditation work or balancing work as well. Open up those chakras and get them all flowing. So there we are, Aries. I wish us all a very happy May and a careful May, and one of contemplation and moving forward in right directions for all of us with the use of our intuition and guidance of prayer. Kia kaha, everyone. Thank you for listening. I appreciate you subbing and liking. Much aroha.